start it or you start it?
Take it, my G.
I take it?
You take it.
Welcome to MFL Total Access, week 3 ever, because all the shows before that didn't count because I wasn't on. Popular demand for real. People said it was the best show ever last week. Well, P.O. said it perfectly. He said it was the worst and the best show at the same time.
All in one.
What?
All in one.
What did you actually say?
All in like one. All in one.
Okay, never say that again. So yeah, all in one. I think it was perfectly described. Yeah. We'll try to make it as fun this week, but the bar is pretty high.
I'm gonna try to make it a little more serious.
I'm not.
Let's go with Willie's idea.
It's not earlier than it was last week, so
Yeah, it's tough to beat.
I'm trying to block this, bro. We didn't do a good job.
Should we restart?
No, that's perfect.
Okay, so just don't move, okay?
Sounds good.
So the MFL season's over.
No, don't say that, Terry.
Right,
It's
well,
not. It's not. You want to know why it's not?
We got to get together.
Bingo.
This Sunday, November 20th,
Great Cup Sunday.
Grey Cup Sunday.
What? Who gives a crap about Grey Cup?
1 p.m. Champs Sports Bar. Champs Sports Bar on Saint Laurent. 1 p.m. this Sunday.
Well, I guess there'll be NFL on.
Be there or be square.
Yup. We'll have Miami Dolphins at 1. We'll have the Cowboys at 4:25. And
No, in all seriousness, last time we had Red Zone on one screen. We had like the 2-3 games that people were cheering for on other screens. Then we had like random games on the other screen. So like it was literally only MFL people. I don't even think the bar's open at that time. John got some hookups. I think got a buddy that owns it or works there. And it's just for MFL, I think. Maybe now it's open, but mostly MFL people are there.
It's
Come on
MFL
over.
run.
Yeah. It was really fun last time.
It was.
it was make sure you
And it's like the
show
last
up.
time we're going to see each other till like 2023.
Facts.
So show up. Awards will be given out. Luckily, you have to have clothes on, so Kevin will be wearing a shirt.
God.
Good one.
Even though at the fall last year when he won, he got his Hall of Fame inductee, he took off his shirt for the picture.
Classic.
That's respect.
I'm not sure it's respect, but it's classic.
What other notes do we have? Oh, we're going to announce some winners live on air.
Max is super excited right now.
I'm really excited right now, too.
I wonder if you watch the whole show in case he misses it or if he just like intro, ending. Do it now or at the end? Save it for the end?
Save for the
There's a
end.
chance we forget, but
No, we won't forget.
We won't
Max,
forget.
we won't forget. Let's do it at the end.
okay. So we crowned 5 new champs.
Do we name them?
No, we'll get there. Anything else?
How long is the get together? Like, are we saying till the Great Cup or?
Until you want to leave.
We'll stop.
You
talking
could watch
about
the
Grey
Sunday
Cup.
night football there if you want.
That is
So
true.
you're gonna choose to watch the Grey Cup over like NFL games?
Depending. Dolphins are actually on a bye, so they are not playing at 1 o'clock. So, well, no, Ticats aren't in the Great Cup, so I don't think I'll watch.
Okay.
Any other notes we had before starting the show?
Announcing the awards there, our champs.
It's the last.
Jeff, where's the organization?
It's the last show for a
That's
while.
crazy.
it's-
Holy cow.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Interesting. Sounds the way we pronounce Eric's last name.
Yeah, for real. Dresses.
This is the 49th show
Wow.
of MFL Total Access. So the first show of the spring season will be our 50th.
Yeah, the big 5-0.
Yeah.
We'll have a couple of months to think about something special to do.
For
Very
sure.
balloons. What are those little things called that you pop?
Maybe we'll
If you guys have any idea, comment below. We'll
Oh yeah,
try
in all
to-
seriousness, we try to make the show better every year, and we try to also include the community as much as we can. It's not very easy to do, and like we're not like the smartest either. So like if you
speak
have
for
any,
yourself.
if you have any ideas or any things you want us to do on the show, like have other guests than Jaff, he's still considered a guest.
Not anymore.
Let us know. We'll try to improve for next spring.
Yeah, because we were supposed to get Miles on. I think he went completely incognito. But because like he could talk about Broadstar, we talk about the little kids league.
Yeah.
So there's definitely a lot of other things to incorporate. So yeah, we'd love to have people on the show.
Or just your opinions. Like
Yeah.
we'll
Yep.
actually try to do stuff that you say this time.
Yep. Let us know.
Do we start?
I'm ready. You ready?
Let's make it a good one, boys.
Okay.
Let's make it
try.
a good one.
I got a suggestion. Let's start with the order the games in the order of the day.
I like
When-
it. Like the champions.
No, like semifinals, finals.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it. Jeff, you like it?
Yeah, we're good.
Let's get it.
So the day started off very cold
It did.
with Division 4 semifinals. I think amongst the three of us, we saw every single game.
Pretty sure, yeah.
Yes.
I wasn't there at.
You went for a coffee break at some point.
Yeah. Need my coffee.
So in Div 4,
Revenant Rocket Pockets.
Pocket Rockets, close.
Start that game.
Yeah.
Why is it ROC then on the website?
Like
Because it used to be called Rockets. Yeah.
So Rocket Pockets.
So
yeah, go ahead.
You want to start?
Pizza
No,
Pockets really rocketed the Revenants.
You go ahead, baby.
So I ref this game, Pocket Rockets, second time playing Revenants this year. Revenants didn't score a single point in both those games.
Wow.
Pocket Rockets drove the field fairly easily on their first drive. Up 6-0. Marvin's first pass is a pick six.
Tough.
Down 12-0. But then his defense kind of held up until late in the first half. It was still 12-0. Pocket Rockets take 18-0 lead going into halftime. Really, it was like really wet at that time. It was raining. I don't understand why Marvin didn't run more. Like, it's funny to say because he ran 10 times for 61 yards.
Yeah.
But literally, he was averaging 6 yards a carry. And even times where they had him in the backfield, he was making 1 or 2 guys miss and still gaining like 2-3 yards.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't tell him this during the game, but if I had a chance to speak to him before, I would have told him, like, literally run every first down. Like, it'll make your second and third more manageable, you know?
Yeah.
He did end up taking some big sacks in the second half. Against Sydney, making like those third and fourth downs even more impossible. But you saw it, like, as soon as it was like 12, 18, nothing.
You
Like,
kind of felt the game.
they were defeated, right? Like, in their eyes, they didn't think they could match up against that team, you know?
Right.
Who was the rusher for
Sydney.
Yeah?
Yeah. Played a good game. Peo, like, kind of dissected this defense. 220 yards, 5 touchdowns, 2 picks. Again, the picks were like kind of balls that bounce in the air. It was a wet day.
No, he had a fairly clean game.
I mean, he did throw 2 picks.
Yeah, well, I mean, one of them was popped up.
Yeah.
He's a good quarterback. I like Pio. I like his mechanics. I like...
He definitely passes the eye test, man. Like, when you see
Yeah,
the way
for
he
sure.
throws and his follow-through and his little, like, fingers going like this at the end, you're like...
It's robotic.
Like, I wish I could do that.
He looks like a quarterback, too.
Yeah.
Like, he remind me of Zach Wilson.
Bingo.
Same face.
Maybe not the comparison I'd like to have, but...
Well, Zach Wilson is 6-3.
I'm just talking, like, physically. When you
Zach
look at his
Wilson what?
face,
He's 6-3 this year.
Yeah. Oh,
No, like 6 wins and 3
yeah.
losses.
Isn't even better than that because, like, the Jets lost, like, the 2 first games and he wasn't playing. It was Flacco.
Yeah, he didn't start.
That's a good
As a
call.
starter, he's even better than that.
That's a good call.
Coming back to MFL, remember last week when I wanted my luck to beat Marvin rushing for more passing yards? Rushing for more yards than passing?
Yeah, he did more than 1 by 1.
And you called me a dum-dum.
Wow. Well, it was a dumb lock.
It was
but
a dumb
it
lock.
It doesn't make it...
But it locked?
But it
I mean,
locked.
he rushed for 61 yards, passed for
60. Clearly a tough game for Marvin. When you go 8 for 30, 60 yards, no touchdown to interception, it's basically impossible to win a game with those stats.
Yeah.
But still giving him props. It was his first or second season as a quarterback?
Second. But
Second,
he really
two
improved from his
semifinals.
first year.
Marvin
Yeah.
currently has a 2-2 record in playoffs as
He-
a quarterback.
He's getting better, and I hope he's going to keep throwing next year because he has a lot of experience in flag, and he has a lot to offer to free agents team.
And I think this Revenants team really rallied around Marvin through the course of the year. Like, there was games where he wasn't there, and like I threw and somebody else threw, and like it was good. But like you could really tell Marvin was the glue for that team, not only because of like his skill, but because he was that leader and captain for these guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
Props.
Well, Alexia and Leo did what they had to do. 7 total catches, 3 of them went for touchdowns, over 100 yards combined. They're clearly the 1-2 punch for this team going into that finals that we will be talking about shortly. We've got another semifinals to recap.
Yes.
Bin Low Fat Mustard Tigers, 32-26
That was
for
a
this
fun
game.
one.
Yes, it was. I don't know if Mustard Tigers woke up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, but they were definitely drinking those beers, watching that finals from the sideline afterwards.
Yep.
I did not see much of this game as I was reffing the other semifinal. But it looked like Bin Low Fat had control of this game, especially very early, and they kind of maintained that control. Mustard Tigers were kind of chasing, but it was too little too late.
Jeff, did you see...
He was not there.
You were not there too. I saw a bit of the second half of this game, and like you said, Terry, I think Ben controlled the game, and then second half was really where you felt Mustard Tigers pouring it on. They only outscored them 13-12, but I felt that second half was really dominated by the Tigers. But Bin Low Fat, they built a substantial lead. They're up 20-0, like you predicted. Got to give you a shout out there. And while their offense played well, their defense stood strong and was able to pick off Bryant 3 times in this one, which is basically what ended up sealing the game. And I believe the last play of the game was actually a pick, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so it was the Ben's offense playing great game, and then when they saw their defense stepped it up.
Yep. And for Ben, obviously everybody computed to the win. We have Simon with a touchdown. We have Thomas with 2 1-point convert. We have Mathieu with 2 touchdowns. We have Sean Shaker with nicest name in the whole MFL, by the way.
That's a cool name.
Sean Shaker. It's better than William Power.
Debatable.
Yeah, debatable.
I'll give it to him just because.
I guess I'm a nice guy.
If I didn't know what you looked like, I'd say William Power, but no, I think I'd go Sean Shaker.
Because I'm so incredibly handsome, you would go with him. I
Thank you very much,
completely
Terry.
understand.
But yeah, only 1 catch, but 32 yards and a touchdown. So it's pretty tough to beat a team when everybody gets in on the offense. And GF went 18 for 29, 161 for a touchdown, and he wasn't done because he came into that final red hot. We're going to talk about that later.
Let's talk about the final right now.
Right now.
Why talk
Let's
about
go.
these semifinals when you were there for the championship?
Let's go.
Bin Low Fat were 6 players for both these games.
Yeah, it's a
they
good
were
call.
6 players only. They had no subs. They had guys that were supposed to show up, didn't show up. There was like a bigger roster throughout the season, but like not everyone was always there. And it's crazy that no matter who was there, this team, we saw it this weekend, was such a complete team, top to bottom on that roster. They complete each other so well.
Yeah.
And like as much as Pocket Rock had that firepower, had that like really top, strong, heavy team, was that like juggernaut all season. Ben Low Fat were more like the consistent team who like you watch them play on defense, you watch them play on offense, and you're like, this is a really, really good team, right?
Yeah.
And the final score is shocking.
Yeah,
32
it
well,
is.
First of all, I think Ben Low Fat came into this game, even after everything I just said, as the underdog.
Yeah.
Yes.
Big
Right?
time.
And
We all picked Pocket Rockets.
To win it
I
all,
believe,
yes.
yeah.
I did not.
You picked
what did
I
you
Tigers.
picked Mustard Tigers.
Oh, facts.
True,
Sorry.
And early on in the game, like after each team had one drive, Pocket Rockets were up. Pocket Rockets were down 7-6. Each team scored on their first drive, but even though it was a 1-point game, you saw I felt that Ben had the advantage, and that was the only time Pocket Rockets scored. Besides, they got a safety later on,
Right.
to make it 8 points.
7, yeah.
But I don't know what it was in this game. I don't know if like Pocket Rockets came in too confident, but that can't be the case because they were like confident all season long.
They were struggling down the stretch, right? They had lost 2 of their last 3 regular season games.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a bit of that. For me, it comes down to the expression, who wants it more will win it. For me, it was very evident from the opening snap, Ben wanted to win this game.
I mean, it's hard to say that anyone wanted the game more than Mike Jazz on that field.
True, I'd say as a team, like I think the story with having only 6 guys with Ben Lofat, after every single play they were making, it was let's go. This was a huge game for them, and you could tell they were playing for keeps and they were playing to win the championship. And I really think that they played better and they really wanted this chip. Pocket Rockets did as well, but I think Ben wanted it more.
Something about having just 6 guys in the MFL playoffs, eh?
Yeah.
It's a cool story, right?
But Ben all season long, like when you watch their games, I think their strength is communication. After every single play, they would come together, talk about what happened.
Yeah.
We have to do this better. It's really rare to see that in lowest division.
Yeah.
But for them, they've been doing that since week 1, and I feel like that's the reason why they came in on top, because they're always adjusting. There's always something better to do for them,
Right.
and even at halftime, they get together not to drink water and chill. They get together to know what they can do better in the second half. And they have a baller in Thomas. We talked about it last week
Yeah,
briefly,
Thomas Tes-Parents.
but he is a certified baller. He's way too strong for that division, and I wouldn't be surprised if a team snatched him up for Division 2 or even Division 1.
Yeah, well, speaking about like too strong for this division, this is essentially a D2 team playing against a D3 team in a D4 finals, right? Like Pocket Rockets have a couple of D1
That was
players.
well said.
Yeah.
Pocket Rockets have a couple of D1 players on
Yeah.
this roster, and
Yeah.
Bin Low Fat is essentially the same D3 team minus a couple of guys
Right.
here and there. GF both GF and PO are in my mind easily D3 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Could have a 500 team in D3.
Easy.
The trio of receivers of Thomas, Mo, and Mathieu in this team was phenomenal, in this finals especially. Thomas, 7 for 61, 3 touchdowns, 2 1-point converts. It's hard to argue he's not the MVP of this game.
Yeah.
Simon Bondoy getting 6 for 66, but he got key 3rd and 4th downs in short situations. You just dump him the ball that 1-yard slant, and you'll take it for like literally 10 yards minimum. Mathieu with 9 catches, leading the team in receptions in this finals. Two of them going for touchdowns. You just saw like this team was a team. Like, you know, like they're for sure buddies off the field. They've known each other for a long time.
You can't fake that.
Yeah, and like
It helps a lot.
they were deserving of this finals, and it wasn't even close. Like it was. I think it was the most one-sided championship of the day, right?
And it was surprising.
Yeah.
I don't know if I was on my way to the field and I called you
Yes.
like 3 times. I was like, Woody, what is happening
Yeah.
into that game? But you said Thomas being MVP. It's really
Yeah, I guess
hard
GF
to
have
argue.
it.
GF 24 for 36, 5 touchdowns, and a pick on defense, I believe.
Yeah.
He led the team in tackles too. If we had a knife, I think we'd give out a trophy for MVP. I think we could split that thing in half easily.
Yeah.
Let's put you on the spot. Who are you giving it to?
Toma. It's close. I'm giving it to Toma.
Yeah.
I think you look at it this way. What's more impressive for the position? Getting the 5 touchdowns, no picks is very impressive. 169 yards. That's great. 7 catches, 61 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 1-point conversions. Like it's you
I
can't.
don't think
go
there's a
wrong
wrong
either way.
answer.
No, there's not a wrong answer. I feel like we're talking about Zeke and Dak rookie season.
I don't think either of them should have won it. So I completely what you're saying.
Who would you giving it to?
Probably Dak.
No, besides the 2.
Oh, this game?
No, Zeke or Dak.
Oh,
If neither deserved it, who deserved it that year?
let's see who was Dolphins running back. Miles Gaskin.
So yeah, a great win for Ben.
Huge congratulations.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really happy
seriously.
for them.
Back-to-back games in the rain and that cold weather. I think that was probably the worst. The worst temperature of the day was those 2 games, probably.
For sure.
But let's talk about the weather for a second.
Yeah.
Isn't that perfect football weather? Like,
Minus the wetness, I'd say.
but
I didn't mind the weather.
that's
Really?
football for me.
I would rather that over when we play in July and it's like 35 degrees.
1000%. But like when you think about football,
I'm 100% with you.
it's-
Not many people
has
agree.
to-
I agree with you.
It has to be cold. Like
I'd argue that like playing in like 40 degrees is harder, and the real athletes will have the better stamina to like contribute a full 44 minutes and more.
yeah,
Whereas lesser athletes in this weather can perform better. So if you're looking at it from like, do you rather the scorching hot 40 degrees or the pouring rain? Like I find it's easier for everyone when it rains more. So maybe give more props to the people that ball out when it's 40 degrees outside.
yeah. I wasn't really going there, but I'm happy we're talking about that. But like, just in your mind, when you think about football, isn't it like cold a little bit? And like
For me, it's like
raining?
November 2nd.
Yeah,
Halloween.
Yes, I
1000%.
agree with that.
Yeah.
But I prefer no rain. Like it sucks for everyone, the refs, the people watching, the players. The ball's wet. You have a towel, and you get tackled because someone pulls your towel off. Your towel falls on the
But
ground.
it's-
Someone slips, breaks an ankle.
I just like it. Like,
Like-
I like it when it's a little bit rainy and like a guy's diving for a tackle and then it gets his
see
shirt
it.
all like.
Mom's
I
got to
like-
go home and watch that stuff.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I like that shit.
Yeah,
I
me
really
too.
like that shit.
No, me too. I think if we play it like today, as we're recording, it's Monday. Like today's a perfect football day. It's chilly outside.
I like the chilliness, but it means just the wetness.
I mean, I guess you're a wimp. Like, what do you want me to say?
Okay, so we agree that it has to be cold.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay,
100%.
I'm okay with that.
Anything else to say before we move?
Look, we knew Ben Lofat was a good team. We knew they were contenders, but I think, at least myself, I called Pocket Rockets winning this division fairly easily. So I think this is like a big shout out here. Not only did they win, but they win convincingly.
We talked a lot about Ben. Should we throw Pocket Rockets under the bus a little bit, or we're nice guys today?
What do you want to say?
I don't know. Is it like
Where do they go from here?
No, not really, because I can see them come back and bounce back, and like I wouldn't be surprised if they win next year. But like,
I mean,
Is
they'd
that
have
a
to make
sh-
adjustments to stay in Division 4 because
That's what
they're
I mean.
against the cap, and they have a lot of guys that were like new to the MFL with no rating. So like, this team would be a Division 3 team next season, and the way they ended their season in D4, I don't see them. They'd be lucky to make the playoffs in Division 3.
but at the same time, like they're stacked. Like that's you would define that game as a choke, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I don't want to put the choke label on Pocket Rockets. I want to emphasize that it was Big Low Fat that won the game more
1000%,
because
and that's why for the past like 2, 3, 4,
Yeah.
5 minutes we've been
Yeah.
talking about Ben winning the game more than Pocket Rockets losing the game. But like, I feel like we talked about a lot about Ben, and I don't want to be that type of media, but like we have to mention the
You have
fact
to look at both sides, of
the
course.
fact that Pocket
only
Rockets sucked.
they only scored 8 points. That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like that's why I was calling you and like going ballistic because
Yeah.
And 2 of those points were on a safety that the quarterback's flag fell off
Yeah.
while he was in the end zone, and someone just walked next to him, didn't even touch him or anything. So
that's crazy.
They scored 37 points the game before against a Revenant's defense that has
Yeah,
Marvin.
exactly. Like for a second, I thought the app was crashing. I'm like, something is wrong
the
with that.
rain got into the
Yeah, and
maybe.
it's not to take anything away from Ben. Ben is a really, really good team, but like, it's tough for Pocket Rockets. It's really, really tough.
You got to use this as motivation for next season.
Yeah,
Pocket
I
Rockets
agree.
put up 45 when they played against them earlier in the season.
Against Ben.
Yeah, it was week 2 of 45-36 was the final score.
I ref that game.
Like actually,
Yes. Yes, not like mentally.
or maybe you passed in front of the field and you just thought you ref the game.
Congrats, Ben.
Yeah, congrats, Ben.
Good stuff.
You want to hate on Pocket Rockets more? Or do we go to the
No. It wasn't hate. Like it was just like stating
pure
fact,
hate.
right?
Yeah.
I'm cheering for them. I told P.O. right after the game, heads up, you're a really good quarterback. You're going to be back. And I mean, for me,
it's his first full season as a quarterback. Second
no.
in the MFL.
I think second.
In the
Second.
NFL, yeah.
Yeah.
And you
Like,
make the finals, like
Yeah, and for me, like a champion or like a great player is not like you don't define a great player by how many championships he get. For me personally, is
you saw that Steve-O?
huh?
You told that Steve-O?
No. Let me finish. I hate when he does that.
I
Let me
used to,
finish.
Robbie came immune to it.
For me is how you're able to bounce back. I like to see athletes or players after a loss. I like to see
Yeah.
how they react. I like to see them like learn from that and move on.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see Pocket Rockets do that because I think they're really good players. I can't wait to see them be great.
Because early on in the season, we thought they'd run the table, go undefeated,
Yes.
win the championship,
easy.
and you wouldn't see any adversity. Now,
No.
good point. Like, let's see how they're going to... If they do bring back a similar roster next spring, how are they going to fare? Are they still going to be that juggernaut team? And yeah.
Fall down 7 times, get up 8.
Who said that?
D Wade. Wait, it's a bracelet, I swear. Let's go, baby. D Wade, come on now.
You actually said it?
D Wade, yeah.
And he said 7 and 8?
Yeah, but he's not the guy that came up with that code.
Yeah, it was D Wade, bro. Come on, man. Don't be hating on my boy D Wade. Flash. Walking bucket.
Terry's looking who said that.
Flash is also a D-Wade fan?
No, D Wade.
No, D-Wade is called Flash, and like it's his
The
nickname.
name is
The
Flash.
same way that we call Andrew Flash?
Yes.
Yeah, like how Kobe is Black Mamba
Yeah.
and LeBron is King. D-Wade is Flash.
It is what it is, my guy. It is what it is.
I'm ordering Uber, by the way.
Terry's just used to watching Giannis stunking and saying, go Greek community.
It was Phil Jackson that said it.
It was actually D Wade, so that's wrong. All right, we're moving on.
D-Wade said it to Phil Jackson.
Obviously, yes.
Okay, Division 3 is next.
Yeah.
Yeah, D3.
We had those D3 semis.
We did at the same time.
You want to start with yours?
Sure.
Master Chiefs destroying Iron Wolves 44-18 to who some said that would be one of the closest games of the weekend.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
No, it
You want
wasn't.
to start or you want me to start? 'Cause
Yeah,
I
you
wrote
go.
that
Shoot,
down.
shoot. You go.
I go? Okay. I'll order Uber Eats after. I go. Yeah, I rep that game. So, no, I score kept that game.
Yeah.
It's really simple for me. Willie was Willie. He went 27 for 32, almost 300 yards, 7 touchdowns, no interception. Iron Wolves' defense had no answer for him. You were slicing through that zone like it was the easiest thing you did.
Like
in
eating
your
McDonald's.
life. Yeah, facts. It was as easy as ordering or eating McDonald's for you.
Ordering for him is a little hard sometimes.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, big decisions.
ordering is really hard for him. Eating and
Complaining.
Yeah, exactly. Ben did Ben thing, going 6 reception for 70 yards, 1 touchdown. But all your receiver balled out.
That's what I mean. I did have a good game, but these receivers are making plays, catching in traffic.
You had 6 guys with a touchdown, and Ryan caught 2. Or Ryan mossed someone. I don't remember.
I think it
who.
was Josh.
Josh, he mossed Josh for a touchdown. It was really, really sick to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, everybody was clicking that game.
Yeah.
You guys are beating them so bad that you made John come into the game.
But John was not bad. John was good.
Yeah, he went 1 for 4 with a pick. That's not too bad.
No, I didn't mean him as a quarterback. I meant him as a defensive
25% completion.
We were
percentage.
talking about him as a quarterback right now.
No,
though.
I'm sorry, guys. I wasn't following. Yeah. No. John was. Yeah, but poor guy, bro.
Like at that point, it was like.
His shoulder was.
Was he playing offense?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was. He was. But he was.
That's why they lost. They did not throw him the ball.
Yeah, facts. Well, if you ask Chris why they lost, it's because they didn't throw him the ball. Chris
Yeah, I heard him.
went like nuts over the game. He was really upset, / mad, / and I really don't hope he's gonna get mad at me for that. But like, he looked like a baby out there a little bit. He was really not a like the Chris that we like.
Like he's
we
a passionate guy, right?
Yeah,
we
he's
know,
really
we know,
passionate. Yeah,
we know how sometimes when games get tough in a big game like that, how it can turn.
Yeah, but at the same time, like we saw Chris in Division 2, and we're gonna talk about that later. And finally, it wasn't an easy game either,
Right.
and he was really committed into the game. He was like in that Division 3 game. I felt like he gave up at halftime. It was over.
I think the difference was that he knew he was going to lose the D2 finals, but he thought he had a chance in D3.
Do you want
No. Bro, they nice C's beat us last time we played them.
There's a fine line between being competitive, showing passion, being a good team player, and being a crybaby,
Yeah,
right? And you don't want to step over that line, right? Because
No.
like showing emotion is something that your teammates could thrive off of,
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah,
but then being a whiner and a baby is something that like brings the team down.
yeah,
And I was hearing him from the other field when I was reffing, and I literally saw like the first 2-3 plays of Iron Wolves, and I just looked at the play-by-play, caught 2 of the 3 first passes that Iggy threw,
yeah,
and he finished the game with 3 balls.
yeah.
Yeah.
And at the same time, like if we want to be like the l'avocat du diable, I don't know how to say that.
Devil's advocate. Play devil's advocate.
Yeah, like Chris is the main guy on offense.
Yeah,
for them.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
And on defense.
and
He's
when
the
you
soul.
and when you look at Arnold's winning record, and when you look at those games that they won, Chris was the main piece on offense, and for him to finish the game with 2 receptions is not enough. I don't care how much he complained during that game. I don't care if he tapped out at halftime. You can't win a game if Chris only has three receptions.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, you have to give credit
That's
to
what I was
the
gonna
Chiefs,
say,
because Victor shut him down. He was really physical with him, to the point where like he was on that line where you could throw a flag, but at the same time we're playing flag. We're not playing ping pong, right?
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
like, you're gonna put some hands sometimes here and there, but it wasn't grabbing. He was just playing a little physical, and Chris didn't like it, but. Look at Mauricio. He has 12 receptions. And yes, Mauricio is a good center, but the main reason why he had 12 receptions is because Ig was looking downfield. Nothing was open, and he would dump it to a snapper. So Master Chiefs really showed up. They knew that Chris was the main guy, and they shut him down, I think.
Yeah, we got 4 picks and 3
Was
sacks.
your game plan to shut Chris down? Or you
No,
got-
we call our, like, we knew Chris and Josh were the 2 main guys, but we call our defense that we would call against any team.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a good game there, and their second semifinals.
Yep. Double Dippers Idaho. I ref that game. Total of 40 points scored in the first half and only 14 in the second half.
Wow.
It was very back and forth. Double Dipper started with the ball going up 6-0. Idaho scored. Double Dipper scored. Idaho scored. It was 13-12 with just under 2 minutes left. And then Idaho said, you know what? We want to go into halftime knowing we won this game, and took a 27-13 lead.
Oof,
Going into half, getting the ball, scoring on their first possession after the second
That's
half.
big.
And making it a 20-point game with 15 minutes left, and essentially saying we just punched our ticket to the finals, right? Brady started in this game, was a surprise for many.
Yeah.
He did not look like someone who had not played the last couple of weeks. He was throwing deep ball. At one point, he threw a deep ball, and I told him, like, okay, yeah, you're pretending you're hurt, and he's like, that would have been a touchdown if I wasn't hurt. You know, it was on his own 5-yard line, and I think the receiver had to maybe slow down a little bit, and he caught it at the 5 and got tackled like at the 1 or something.
Yeah, yeah.
He's like, that would have been a touchdown if I wasn't hurt. But like, his ball did not look like as if it was someone that was throwing with like I don't know what exactly his injury was. Somewhere
His wrist.
a finger. Okay, his wrist.
Yeah.
But going 23-33, 257, 5 touchdowns, 1 pick.
That was the appetizer for how we played in the finals.
Yeah, exactly. Those are like crazy stats, and we'll talk about that in a bit.
Best believe we will.
Yeah. Double Dippers showed that they could fight, but like they kind of had that first half till the last like 2 minutes of like the good Double Dippers, and it was like the inconsistent Double Dippers.
How many times in the NFL do you hear about closing a half? Right? At the
Yeah.
end of basketball, closing a quarter.
Yeah.
It's like those last 2
The
minutes.
last 2 minutes are most important.
Yeah,
by
even in
far.
hockey, in the last 2 minutes of a period going into the dressing room.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
all, and then it's also how you start. It's how you start and how you finish that is the most important, right? That's why having the home field advantage, even though there's no field advantage.
Yeah, it
even
actually
that
does
coin
make a
toss,
difference. Yeah,
you
yeah.
get to end with the ball in the first half and start with it in the second half, right?
They doubled up double dippers.
Yeah, they double dipped on double dippers.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well said. Simon was huge for double dippers in this game. 8 for 88, a touchdown. Manu played really well. Marco, Alex, they all played well. Like double dippers had a good game. It's just that Idaho was the better team,
Yeah.
and it showed. Like Leon played a good game. He didn't play his best game. He didn't play his worst game, but it's not enough to make it to the finals when you're playing against a team like Idaho, right?
For sure.
Especially with Brady. Yeah, Jason Edwards, 2 big picks in this game.
Yeah.
He's
Fuck.
a really, really good defender.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And like not take away his ability to play receiver, but like I would take him. If you had to take him for receiver or defensive, I would take him for defense.
Yeah.
It's not even
because
a
like
debate.
he's very good at tracking the ball and
But
like
it's also
being in coverage.
his knowledge that he helps out. the
Yeah,
other
yeah.
guys around
And
him.
it's not even a debate.
Yeah.
It's not even a debate.
Yeah. I'd worry in this game getting 5 catches for $1.25.
And that was just a
25 yards
warm-up.
per catch. Yeah.
That was just a warm up.
Yeah,
Because let's talk about that final.
Let's talk about the final.
it's all you guys.
I looked at that score right now, and in my mind, you got destroyed more than that.
I know, eh?
It's crazy. Like, it was, they won by 9. It was 49-40 for Idaho. And I felt like, first of all, you were down all game. Did you take the lead?
We scored first and stopped them, bro. We were up 6-0 and had the ball.
Oh my god. Well,
And Rory got his pick six.
oh, you're right. And from that point on, it was.
Then that point on, they steamrolled.
What was the difference for you between that semi and that final? Like, how did you feel as a quarterback?
I felt as confident as I was. Like, I knew I was playing against, I guess, a better defense. What I felt. I didn't change my game plan at all, but I felt like once I threw that first pick, I was like, okay, this is going to be a little bit more difficult. Where, like, it's not going to be a team that you just go up and you march and you score at will against.
You guys just got a bunch of picks on them last time when you played that game, remember?
Yes, that's true.
And that's something that was not working this time because, like, you kind of were expecting not to have a perfect game playing against them.
Right.
But you were also expecting Brady not to have a perfect game, and he went 21 for 37, over 200 yards, 5 touchdowns, and very importantly, no interceptions, right?
Yes.
And after the game, when we were telling you threw 4, Brady's like, how many did I throw?
Yeah, I know,
I threw none.
Because it was like he threw. What I liked about Brady's game is he threw a lot of incompletions, but he went deep. He knew what he wanted, and it was there. If you throw 4 deep balls and you complete 1, it's a success.
But at the same time, like those balls that he was throwing, it's either his receiver that had a chance on it or
Incomplete, 100%.
So that's why he had success in that game, I feel. And I mean, I feel like we can have the same debate that we had with Thomas and GF earlier. Like, who would you give the MVP to, Rory or Brady? Because they both balled out. Brady going with I feel like that's a pretty close to perfect game for a quarterback, especially in a final with all the pressure.
Yeah.
Rory had 5 for 85, 3 touchdowns, and on defense he had 2 picks or 3 picks and a pick six. It was like after the first time, because that pick six was really nice. He really read it well.
It was beautiful.
He shot that ball like that route, and it was a play that he made. Right?
Yeah, 100%.
Then the second one, I felt like it was more on you than on him.
Yeah.
You floated that ball up,
Yes.
and like it was not an easy pick because picks are never easy, but like
one of the easier ones.
exactly,
Yeah,
you made
yeah.
it easy for him to make. Right?
Yeah.
Rory is a really good player. He's fast. He's tall. It was an easy play for him to make. And after that second pick, in my mind, I'm like, well, from now on, we're just gonna stay away from him.
Yeah.
And then he got a third pick.
Yeah.
And from that, like after that, I was like, well, I don't have the control of the game, and I can't see them lose because they were stopping. They would stop you on offense, and you had no answer for them on defense, and it was really hard.
You were down 2 scores to start the second half after they scored right away, and then you made it a 1-point game.
1-point game, yeah, because we got our first stop, their second possession of the second half.
And then you were down 1 point, but they scored a 40 bomb to Rory at that point.
And then they got the 2-point cover,
and
which was big.
And then you were chasing.
I'd say Brady's best throws were on the converts. Like
he
the
did get a lot
converts
of
were huge.
big
He
time.
threw a wheel to Jerome that was bucket.
Yeah.
His passes to I know what
you're right.
Dave Grisson this game didn't come up huge on the offensive stats, but he had a 1-point conversion and a TD, and both of the throws that Rory had to him were like threading the needle.
Yeah.
Like it was like boom boom, and it was like a masterpiece to see how it was. It was like boom boom, okay, target, bro, I'm gonna throw and I'm gonna launch it.
But you're right, that pass to Jerome was sick. 'Cause
Oh, yeah.
that ball was in the air, and you looked at Avery, who was a
like,
really good defender, and you're like, oh, Avery, tap it. And it was like, oh, just tap it. And then it was bucket to Jerome.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. His best plays were on converts.
Really.
And that's where they built that little
lead. Like, because at that
Yeah.
point, like, if they don't get it, okay, we're down by a possession. Okay, we know we're simple. We're down by 2 possessions. Like,
But-
we got to go deep a little bit more.
They got
it's-
7 points off converts.
Yeah,
They did, yeah.
It's crazy. But like I said, like you look at the play-by-plays, and it never felt that close.
Yeah,
it never
I would
did.
agree. Yeah, I
because
felt like
you
we
were
were playing
chasing
catch-up.
all. Yeah, you were playing catch-up all game, and every time like you had a room to breathe, boom, they would make it a 9-point game.
Yeah.
Then we score, we're down 1, boom, they would score to get the convert. We're back at chasing, and I felt like it was that all game, and usually I was used to see Master Chief in control, and you see Master Chief like driving the field with no pressure whatsoever. And I told you after the game, I felt like you were relaxed.
Yeah.
But too relaxed.
Too relaxed, yeah.
Like that's your strength when you're in the pocket going set hut
In
and
the
just
zone.
grabbing the ball and like in your zone. But I felt like you were never like you were too chill.
Right.
Even though he was down 2 possessions?
Yeah, but especially at the beginning. Especially at the beginning of the game, and then after when
But that's not a bad thing. Like, you don't want to start panicking and being like...
no.
Maybe the way I floated that ball was
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
Like,
It was like he was too chill. He wasn't like focused. He was, Willie. Sometimes he's like, there's a difference between being chill and having confidence.
yeah.
You were chill.
Yeah, got you.
You
got you.
weren't confident. That's how I saw it.
I think that's fair. Like, I definitely didn't have one of my best games throwing 4 interceptions. Not to take away anything from them because their defense is heck, like.
I mean, Jerome only picked you off once. That's
Yeah, exactly.
That's almost like
I
a
know.
win.
Yeah, like I was like super happy. And Joe got a pick. He's like, you know what's gonna happen once. I'm like, yeah, I'll take the one time. But it's hard to argue if you had to say who. Like, was it their offense or their defense that won the game for Idaho? Like, I think it's both.
When you pull up 49 and you allow 40, I'd go off offense.
Me too, but they got 2 pick sixes.
Oh, facts.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I mean, we stopped them twice. We stopped them.
That was a really good counter argument, Willie. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I'll take the blame. Like, those 2 pick sixes are on me. But we only stopped them twice. We stopped them once
And they still put up 49.
on 4th down, and we stopped them once when they punted.
7 points on converts. Terry said it perfectly.
Yeah, that's true. The converts were big.
You guys put up 4 on converts. You
Yeah.
even lost that battle, even though you would have gotten the extra touchdown because they beat you by. They only had 1 more touchdown than you, but it was a 2-possession game.
9. Yeah.
Wow.
I think, like, the story here is great, though. Like, not knowing who's going to quarterback for Idaho, and then Brady saying, you know what, I'm going to trust myself, whether I'm 80% Brady or 70% Brady.
Yeah.
I'm going to come into this game, like...
And he was, like, the heart and soul of that team on offense, but also on defense, right? Like, I don't know how much he played defense, how he played it in this finals, but
He played a couple of drives.
in the semifinals, he almost had, like, a crazy pick on the first drive that Double Dippers had. Like, he just didn't get a second foot in, and he, like, dove for it. The ball was going out of bounds. And he gets a couple of picks like every season, so
yeah.
I was 100% behind the decision. Like you live and you die by your best player, and that's what happened here. And they won.
Idaho is a great story. I still remember that season where they came in, and they were all over the place, getting flags left and right, and they learned how to play flag. They learned chemistry. They learned how to get to play together. But Brady was always a heart and soul, and it's nice to see them win a.
So where do they go from here? Do they move up to Division 2?
They have to.
They have to?
Yeah, they have to.
I wouldn't say they have to.
You don't think they're ready for Division 2?
I think they're ready.
I think they're ready, but like if they play Division 2, like with the way they ended the season, let's say this Idaho team that showed up in the playoffs with Brady and everything like that, you can't say it's without a doubt a D2 playoff team. You can't say that they're for sure going 500.
Yeah, but if they're going Division 2, we have more teams in Division 2. There's not only 4 teams making the playoffs.
Yeah, no, I know, but like let's say you swap them with like Spritz Gang.
I see they do better than Switz Gang.
Yeah, 100% better than Spritz Gang. But my argument was they don't go 500. They don't win. They don't make the playoffs. I think the jump from 3 to 2 is way bigger than 4 to 5 and 5 to 4. Like
and even 2 to 1.
Yeah, as you're going in higher division, the gap is bigger and bigger between divisions, right? Like Division 2 is essentially Division 1B.
If
like,
you tell me they played Div 2 this year and you switch them for Switz Gang, I say they finish 5-5.
who are their 5 wins come against?
I can see them be split with nice TDs.
Okay, that's one.
Yep. I could see them
Split with Marvels.
even us Thunder Buddies, bro. We were up and down all year. I could see them beating Red Raiders once.
Okay.
Maybe 4-6.
Yeah.
But I think they're ready for D2. But I wouldn't say if they stay in D3, it's them not being up to the challenge. There's always going to be favorites.
Yeah,
right?
no,
There's always going to be teams that want to defend their title. So if they stay Division 3, I don't think it'll be like, oh, they're taking the easy way out.
No, 100%. Yeah, I agree with that. Because my argument was basically based like I love the guys in Idaho. I think they're a great team. I think they'll eventually be a D2 team. But Marvels and Tanant are 2 teams in Division 2 who did not make the playoffs. And as good as Idaho are, and as good as Brady is as a quarterback, like Brady's not better than Max right now. And Marvels on paper are better than Idaho, in my opinion, even though they didn't show it on the field.
Yeah.
So I just have a hard time thinking that like Idaho would excel. And like Idaho did not have a walk in the park Division 3, right? Like
They still have a differential of 114. That's a lot.
Idaho.
yeah. There were
that-
some bad D3 teams that they beat up on.
Yeah.
Like I'd be okay with it either way. Like right now, this Idaho team is like 50 points below the cap in Division 3 right now. They could stay in Division 3. Like if they move to Division 2 and get another ball, like let's say the first thing that comes to mind is Marvin. Let's say they go in Division 2 and they add a Marvin to their squad. They'll be a playoff team in my mind. You know, they got to kind of just tweak and upgrade that roster because it's not. I don't think Idaho is not good enough for the division. I just think the division is too good for them. I know it sounds like the same thing, but it's just because
I get what you're saying. I think they're ready for 2.5. Then maybe not ready for 2.
everyone in Division 2 plays Division 1, right? How many Idaho players play Division 1?
Brady played a little bit with Outlaws this
Yeah,
year.
but like mainly on defense.
Rory.
Edwards can play Division 1.
Yeah. I'm not saying they can. I'm saying like almost every D2 quarterback throws in D1, right? Like,
I think when Jagerbomb won the championship in Division 3, that's a team we knew had to go to
Yes.
Division 2. But I don't think this is like a team where like if they don't go to Division 2, it's like they're scared of D2.
I don't think so either. I'm just saying if we come in next spring
yeah.
I think in Idaho State in Division 3, like it's their championship to lose.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
even to
yeah.
win. It's
Like-
their championship to lose.
Yeah.
If I'm giving friendly advice, or if I was in that position, the way I would play this is like, look, if you stay exactly what Jeff said, if you stay in Division 3 and you don't win the championship, you're going to be a bust.
Yeah.
So, and you know you eventually want to move up, right? I'm assuming they do. And
Yeah.
let's say they want to play D2 in the fall, just play D2 in the spring. It'll be a tougher season, but your fall D2 season, you'll have a lot more success, and it'll be the learning curve, and you won't have that pressure going back to D3 having to repeat. And let's say you don't, well then, we didn't win, let's stay in D3 now. But then you're like hindering your progression because you should be in Division 2 even though you lost. Like losing, like you could move up even though you did not win. Like,
Yeah, for
like
sure.
Pocket Rockets were clearly the best D4 team throughout the season. They did not win the championship, right?
Yeah.
So if I were them, I'd encourage them to move up. It's always funner when you have more teams in the higher divisions.
Yeah.
And I do think they could compete. Like,
And at the same time, you get better when you play against better competition.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
They're not going to get better by beating up on teams and winning by
Yeah.
30, 40.
Yeah.
I think they're at a like close to their ceiling in Division 3, and I think for them to get to the next step, they have to go in Division 2. That's what I meant by I don't think they're ready for Division 2 to come in and win the division. I just think they're ready to come in Division 2, play against stronger opposition, and actually get better.
Yeah, fair. I'd agree with all that. I wish I had something to add. You guys actually took the words out of my mouth.
You're allowed to speak.
Yeah. Congrats. No, bro. Congrats, Idaho. Crazy story. I love the story.
Who's your MVP?
Rory.
Yeah.
You cutting it half of Brady or it's Rory?
No, I have to. It's really, really hard not to give it to Rory.
3 touchdowns, 3
Even
picks.
though
Like,
Brady has a storyline.
Yeah, like as much as like it was nice to see Brady play, hasn't played for like what 3 weeks now, 4 weeks maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say 4.
He was injured. He
QB.
came in clutch for his team. Like even the guys after the game, they were asking Rory, "What did you eat before the
Yeah.
game? Can I have some?" Like he was crazy good.
Yeah.
So
Heck of a team effort.
Rory, but Brady, big up,
Yeah.
props.
He gets a gold star.
Will's gold star.
I'd give him 2.
Fair.
Division 1? Is that where we're at?
No,
Yeah.
no, we're not. Are we? Yeah, Division 2 was the last. Yeah, you're right.
No, D3 and 1 was the same time.
And D2 and 5 were the last ones, eh?
Facts,
Yeah.
facts. Division 1. What a game! What a game!
You guys are busy on the D3 game, so...
Oh, yeah, you were... It's true, you were
Ref.
scorekeeping...
No, reffing.
Gosh.
So, Division 1?
Division 1. The other finals at the same time as the D3.
Yeah, for real.
Did you guys catch a little bit of it? Or you just
I
heard?
heard. I heard a lot of it.
Because your game ended after.
Was it our final? It was our finals. eh?
Yes.
Yeah.
And your game...
Your finals, not mine.
Your finals ended after that finals.
Yeah.
So just to address the big elephant in the room, I'd rather do it before we start
Good
talking
call.
about it, so people won't like be thinking, but this.
Dave on the sideline. No, you're not talking about that. Sorry.
No, but it was good to see Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
in the
good to
rain.
Both finals.
It was good
Yeah.
to hear Dave.
It's
Yeah.
true. But even when Dave's rooting against you, you love Dave being there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Facts.
So I want to get this out of the way because this was a crazy game.
Yeah,
This
it
game had a lot of plays. Like there were probably over 50 plays by each team on offense and defense, but the losing team decided to focus on one. Okay, I did not see the play in question. I was watching Laurent make a sick 1-point convert catch. I was about to call a 1-point convert catch, but it got blown dead because there was a sack. Apparently, it was not a sack. But if we had a camera and we focused on every single play during that game, I'm sure there were a bunch of plays that went A-team side that maybe wouldn't have been called that way, right? And we're just human. We're not robot. We don't have robots yet reffing in the MFL. We don't even have robots reffing in the NFL. And even in the NFL, where people are paid and it's their job to make the right call, they make wrong calls. And this weekend, we saw the Gabe Davis catch when Buffalo was marching down
Yes.
to tie the game.
Right.
Yeah, he bobbled. That was not a catch.
No.
It wasn't even reviewed.
A-team could argue, you guys, it wasn't a catch, right? That was not reviewed. It's not only do they have refs, 2 refs on that sideline to see, they have a booth upstairs that could instigate a review without even the refs on the field to do a review. And they have cameras from every single angle. And the NFL still missed that. Buffalo didn't end up winning the game. But had Buffalo won the game, would Mike Roy be calling the NFL right now and asking him, Buffalo should not get that win?
Right.
I wonder if he'd go post that picture on the Buffalo fan page and say Buffalo didn't deserve that win because of that catch. Because people make mistakes. I could say it was not. It should not have been called a sack. I did not see the video. I saw the picture that Mike posted. In that picture, clearly it looks like the ball was off before the flag was pulled. 100%. I am not denying that. It sucks to lose that way. 100%. But please don't be sore losers and focus on one play when there were a bunch of plays. If you guys wanted to be champions, you should not have put the game on that one play. And had that point been good, who knows if Gokuk down 1 point with a minute left would not have marched the field and scored.
Their play calling could have been different, right?
Yeah, Gokuk had the tie, the ball in their hands. They knew worst case we're going to overtime. Who knows if Dom would have launched a bomb to someone and scored? Like, I'm not saying they would have, but we don't know what would have happened. Like, their play call would have definitely been different if they're down by 1 with 1 minute to go. So it's not, you can't say the game would have been over at that point, right? Catch that 2-point convert in overtime, and you wouldn't have lost the game in overtime. There were just so many.
Stop that 1-point convert.
Stop that 1-point convert. Like, there were just so many plays in this game, and I find it so unfortunate to focus on one play.
Yeah.
And that's all I got to say. I don't want to talk about this more. I want to talk about the great game that was. And both teams played a great game. Offensively, defensively, both quarterbacks played well. Like, that's one isolated thing, and, like, it blew up, and I just wanted to put that away. And, like, I don't know if you guys want to. You guys could definitely add something, but, like, I don't have anything else to add besides that.
I think you're right in addressing it right away because it's you want to kind of get over it, and I think it needs to be addressed. We can't pretend it didn't happen, right? Like I think that's the wrong way of going about it. It happened. Look, I did not see any of this game. I heard from Gokuk that there was a play early on in the game where Dom got sacked, but actually got the ball off, and it led to a 3rd and 18, and Dom threw a pick, so that could have changed the game. That was also what seemingly was a wrong call. Things happen. You know, like I said, things happen. We don't have reviews. It's human error, and it's part of the game. It just so happens that that wrong call, if it was one, was made late in the game, and that's where we're focusing on it.
So based on what you're saying, it was consistent.
Exactly.
The way the sacks were being called during that game, I think it was consistent.
The benefit of that was going towards the rusher.
Yeah.
And as long as you call it both sides, which seem to be, for me, it is what it is.
I think you said it perfectly. I don't think I have something else to add except that Gabby is a good ref. He's the guy who refed the most this season.
Yeah.
He's always there. He's always ready to go and to ref. It's really simple. Like Terry said, we are human. We're all going to make mistakes. And without refs, there's no games.
Yeah.
It's that simple. So, like, I get it. It's the heat of the moment. It's on the heat of the moment. Like, you like the passion. You want to win. Everybody wants to win. And I'd rather see, you'd rather see a guy care so much about the game or a sport like Mike, because I'd probably had reacted the same way.
Yeah, for sure.
Because we all like to win. We all hate to lose. But at some point, it has to stop. Like, you have to accept what happened.
Yeah.
It sucks. Everybody agrees that it sucked, but
I mean, 2 days later, we're posting the 5 champions, and he's still salty about that.
Yeah. But
the forum there was to congratulate. There was 4 other divisions in that post. You know, don't just make it about yourself at that point.
Exactly. And like I said, we have to be nice to refs. We have to make sure that refs still want to ref, because without refs, there's no league, there's no game, and we have to move on. And just to add to your point, Gokuk actually did exactly that during the season. They were down by 5 points against Trollers with 55 seconds left, no timeouts, and they marched the whole field to score. Yes. It actually happened. They had actually more time, 1 minute 36, but they went incomplete. Maybe
they had timeouts.
I remember this. I think they had one or no, but it was like,
so it was definitely possible for Gokuk to still be champion.
That's the game with McDonald's on.
Yeah, exactly.
I picked
that's why I remember, and I was at the
puck.
field, and I was watching that, and I wanted them to win so bad. So that's why it popped in my head, and I went to see the play-by-play, and that's exactly what happened. So, like Terry said, it's more than one play. Let's move on, and let's talk about the amazing game that it was.
Yeah, and we were fortunate to have 3 refs in that finals, and oh man, can you see so many more things when you're 3 refs, right? Like people were hating on Gabby's call, but it was me, Gabby, and John as the crew. We were each in our position where we felt each one of us was the best at that position, right? Like Gabby was watching the quarterback. He called a couple roughing the passers. John was the deep field judge. I was the shorter field judge. And my position was the position that lacks in a 2-man crew. And I called a bunch of like holding calls, pass interference. Like you see a lot more things when you're 3 people and you have 6 eyes on the field, rather than just having 1 ref with 2 eyes watching 10 guys. But yeah, this game was a great game. Like D1 finals going into overtime. It's what more do you want, right? It's looking at the parity in the league. A finals where like 8 teams, it's their second finals in a row. Gokuk haven't won a championship since 2018. I just want to start saying before I forget. Like early in this game, Dylan was caught. I think Dylan caught 2 4th down passes on the first drive of the game to end up scoring the first touchdown when 8 teams start with the ball. And we speak about him a lot on the show for his defensive prowess and everything, but I don't think we mention enough how good he is offensively. And even on Red Raiders, I think he led the team in
he was Mike's main guy.
Yeah, with Red Raiders, 18 was more maybe more ball distribution.
Yeah,
but in this game, Dylan had 10 catches, 51 yards, and a touchdown. I think at least half of those balls came on third or fourth key downs, short yard situation. Laurent had another 10 catches, and Mike was looking at Laurent or Dylan. It was 4th and 1 or 4th and 2, and no one seemed phased on A-team, and I thought Go Cook don't have an answer for this A-team offense in short yardage situations, right?
Yeah.
They were able to march on their first drive, even getting the 2-point convert, going up 8-0. Cox score on their first drive. Interesting enough, go for 1. They played the long game. They get that 1, so they're still on 8-7. And then on not the very next play, but 2 plays later, Mike Ray throws an interception in and out of his receiver's hands. Tommy was at the right place, the right time, catch that interception. Grokuk make them pay for it, take a 13-8 lead. And at that point, even though A-team started with the ball, we're just 10 minutes in, and they're already from behind, knowing that Grokuk are getting the ball in the second half, right?
Yeah.
So they got to make this game close at some point. After A-team score, they force a quick 3-and-out from Cock, and but then they go turnover on downs themselves. So there was a lot of good offense and a lot of good defense. This game, it sucks that it ended that way because this was such a great finals. I remember this game was going to overtime, and I was telling myself, what a fun game. I'm so glad I'm officiating this game. It was such a fun game to be a part of.
Yeah.
I wish you guys could have watched it. You had your finals. Yeah. You were reffing another game. But this is exactly what you want in a D. This was the best against the best in the whole league. We're talking about the best team per division. These were the 2 best teams in the best division of NFL at the end of the fall season.
And you felt that.
Yeah, clearly felt that. Just to continue what we were saying at the beginning of the show, Golka got the ball back with 1 minute and 5 seconds left to end the first half, and they scored. So who knows what they would have done with 1 minute left to end the game, right? It's not a guarantee if that 1-point convert stood that the game would have been over right there and there, right?
100%.
And Golka took that 20-14 lead at the end of the half. There were a lot of penalties on that last play.
Yeah, you told us.
When they were at the 1 yard line, so you essentially have 3 refs watching for a 10-yard space.
Right.
We're gonna see everything.
Yeah.
Don't try to hold and tug and then look at me and be like, well, it passed during the season. It's not gonna fly in the playoffs. Yes, look, I have nothing against holding this jersey and doing those stuff, doing what you gotta do to win, taking advantage of the fact that the refs can't see everything. If you're doing it, fine. If the other team does it to you, don't complain about it because you're doing it as well. I have nothing against that. You're playing by the rules. If the ref can't see it, he cannot call it. But right now, knowing there's 3 refs in this game, and it was the first game of the whole season where there would be 3 refs because it's the finals, you guys got to adjust because clearly they did not adjust their red zone defense. And as strong as they were in that semifinals against Outlaws getting 3 picks, Go Cook had the better of them, especially on that final drive where there were 3 flags back to back to back. But there were at least 2 easy. One of them was a clear touchdown that they did, and I would agree with that. If you're gonna give up a touchdown, take the flag. Don't get thrown out of the game. Don't get an ejection.
Yeah.
But take the flag. Worst case, they retry it. Right. It's 100% worth it. I'm not saying not to do it. On defense, I would tell my players to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Just don't go complaining after when you act as if you're the victim. Right.
Right.
So Go Cook get the lead there, get the ball back to start the second half, score again, and at that point, they drove for 7 minutes. There was 15 minutes left, up 2 possessions. 12 full points. I personally thought the game was over.
Well, because remember we talked about it on the show, where who has a better chance of coming back if they're down 2 possessions? We all said Go Cook 100%.
Yeah.
So credit A-Team for keeping cool, being down by 2 possessions, midway through the second half, coming up and tying this game, because it's not something you would think. I would agree with you. I thought the game was over.
Yeah. So then on the next drive, A-Team being down 2 possessions with 15 minutes left. Key 4th and long, finding Laurent for 14 yards, getting the first down. And 2 plays later, Hinsley for the 6-yard touchdown. Convert failed. They're within 6 points. Golka got the ball back with 10 minutes left. They could put the game away again, right? Scoring a touchdown here, getting made convert.
Yeah.
Driving down the field, taking up a lot of time. Golka have an explosive offense, but they were really marching down this field, mainly because A-Team's defense was only allowing that too, right? Gotta give them credit for that. And then with 5 minutes left, Dom decides to take a shot in the end zone. Not the best ball. Danny Damour goes up and comes down with the pick.
I heard he mossed the Colcock's receiver to get that ball. That's what Dave told me, and I heard him.
Yeah, he did go up and get there, but I'd say it was not really thrown on target for the receiver.
Okay. But he made a sick play.
He made a sick play, not taking away from his play, but I don't think it would have been a reception if Danny wasn't there,
Okay.
So then A-Team get the ball back, 5 minutes to go, down 6 points. And they're marching, and they get a 4th down conversion. They get a 3rd down conversion. close game. I think it was a 3rd and 3. Ashton gets 3 yards for the first down to put on the 1 yard line. Ashton gets the touchdown to make it 26-26. Then we have that not failed convert.
Right.
Gold Cook get the ball back with just under a minute. Playing it kind of conservative. Dom ran twice. No, he ran and then short passes, trying to see if his players could break a tackle.
Right.
Game goes into overtime. A team start with the ball. It was funny in the coin toss because like Dom comes for like the captain and we're asking him, do you want the ball or not? And he's like, I don't know. What do I do? Why are you asking me? Vince, you go make the decision. You would think a guy.
Yeah, please flag it.
Yeah. It was just funny. And then like Vince said, obviously we go second, right? Because like
right.
In that case, you want to know what you need, right?
Yeah.
A team, I 100% support the decision going for 2.
Yeah.
You don't want to go for 1 in overtime and then the other team goes for 2 and ends the game when you couldn't have done. Well, your defense could have stopped them, but you want to put the pressure. You go for 2, you get that 2 points. In my mind, it's like 90% sure you're winning the game, right?
Yeah.
And the 2 points was the bread and butter.
Yes.
So
was
I would
it
not.
double quarterback?
Yeah. No, it was not.
Okay.
I don't know if someone dropped, but Mike did throw the ball. I wasn't paying attention because I was looking at the line. Yeah, it was your bread and butter. I'm pretty sure you converted more 2 points than 1 point throughout the season.
Yeah.
Don't like regret that decision.
No.
And then they do not get it. Great defense by Gold Cook. Gold Cook go for 1 for the win. Chuck getting that pass literally on the goal line.
Oh man.
Dylan was there. He made the tackle, but Chuck was already on the line.
Okay.
And then the rest was history.
Damn. I think like you couldn't have scripted a better way to end this. Like it's Division 1. Game goes to overtime, like you said. 2 great teams. A team that was coming off a championship last year, Gold Cook, that was in the mud in the bottom for a while, right early on in the season, and them running off a ton of straight victories to make it to this finals. Look, when the last play of the championship game is met with a conversion, like it's hard to beat that.
Yeah. It was a really good recap, by the way. I feel like I watched the whole
Yeah, for real. Like I knew what.
I felt bad you guys weren't there, so I had to like.
Yeah.
It was good.
Respect.
You were telling me before the show, tell me this, don't tell me that.
I have to give a shout out to Thomas.
Yeah.
What a season for him. Winning a championship after 4 years now. Got to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Got a 1 point convert. Led the team in reception. Led the team in yards. Got an interception in that final. I believe he was the best receiver for Dom all year with Vince.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really nice to see him finally having a good season because he's like a clear,
especially all around.
Yeah.
So there's some seasons he dominates offensively, other seasons he dominates defensively. Defensively is a rusher, defensively is a DB. Now it's like he balled out on both sides of the ball everywhere.
And it's crazy because Dom is known best to extend a play, and Thomas is known best to get open on those plays.
Yeah,
that's
and
huge.
seeing that connection all season was really, really nice. And I can't wait for Gold Cook to come in back in the spring because they're going to be back and defend the title
For sure.
It was great to see Boris back, who
was.
only played a couple of games. He was on IR.
Yeah.
Wasn't 100%, but he did play this game, got 2 big touchdowns.
Yeah, Boris at 60-70% is better than
a lot of players.
More than half the players on.
It's crazy how earlier we were talking about there's a fine line between showing passion, being competitive, and being like a crybaby and whining. And there was not, even though like Dave might not agree with me, there was not a player on that field that wanted this more than Dom in this game. Like Dom was passionate, and he was like, he was on the sidelines. There were 7 players, I believe, so he wasn't the only one not playing defense, but he was giving his guys the you know what on defense, and he was like, you guys, I'm gonna come in if like you're not making a play, I'll come in. And then I think Tommy got like a bad holding penalty at one point, and like I think Dom I came in for Tommy. Like I don't know if it was like send a message like, hey,
take a break.
We're not gonna lose this game because of bad penalties. Go off for a play. I'm coming in, and we know Dom could ball out on defense too. Like he was like I think on 5 picks on the season, right?
Yeah.
Playing limited
two on Willie.
Yeah,
playing limited time on defense, right? So like Dom could definitely ball out. Obviously, Tommy's a baller on defense. I was wondering, why are you looking at Tommy to take off if you're gonna like? There's not really a good person, like a good person to take off. Like all those 7 guys could have played both ways the whole game. But all that say that like Dom really, really wanted that championship, and it showed, And props to him for pulling it off. Both quarterbacks, 4 touchdowns, 1 pick, similar-ish stats, getting close to 70% completion, each throwing for between 150 to 200 yards. Like it was really, really a close game, both sides of the ball. Like each team got a stop, each team got a pick. I wish this game was filmed and we would have like only that game, that time slot, so we could get more highlights out of it.
Yeah. How was that Hensley Dom matchup?
Like Dom rushed 5 times for a total of 6 yards, including the sacks.
Wow.
Well, he got sacked I think twice by Hensley, both coming on the same drive right before that interception that he threw.
Okay.
So his sacks did prove. You know, sometimes you get a sack and the quarterback just gets more yards on his passing yards after because like your sack just made him get like a longer drive. Hensley's sacks did come up huge. Obviously, Dom got the better of him, buying time, running left and right. Not really running north and south for that matter, but like it was more evenly matched than I thought. Like Hensley did a good job containing him. Dom was getting the ball off quicker than usual, right? He was like A-team's defense, like he wasn't taking as many deep shots that we're accustomed to seeing the Cook offense do, right? A-team's defense was playing that well.
Not surprised there.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you see Tommy leading the way with 6 catches, then it was Vince 6 for 32. Like all the averages besides Boris's, he did score 2 touchdowns, were like 6 and under. So like
It shows how good the defenses were. Like it doesn't seem there's many deep balls in this game, right? Like 6 yards per completion for Mike, 7 for Dom.
yeah, I was surprised Mike didn't take more deep shots, right? Like, or didn't try it more, like Ashton. Like I remember taking 1 or 2, but like he connected on those 2 big ones against the Outlaws in semifinals. And it's as if both quarterbacks were playing a lot more conservative than I would have thought. Maybe the field conditions and the temperature kind of dictated that in a way. But I feel like they both teams like shied away from what they were accustomed to doing, right? But yeah, to answer your question, Hensley did rush well, but it is hard to give a nod to a rusher when he's going up against Dom.
Yeah.
I mean, getting those 2 sacks were huge. That's what gave A-team the chance to tie the game.
And Hensley getting a receiving touchdown. He's good. Like we talk about him defensively, but he's a
he
great
came up with a
receiver.
couple of good catches in this game. Yeah.
You talked about that last week, saying
he's a
that,
good
that
receiver.
Hensley had to be more involved in the offense because he's a really, really good receiver. He adds speed to that team because Laurent is not the fastest, Dylan is not the fastest. You have Ashton, but then after that, like it's not really a fast team. So having Hensley in for that speed is really good for them.
Compliments him well.
Yeah.
Congrats to Cook.
Yeah.
If you would have asked us week 3 if they would have won the championship, they would have been surprised.
Started 1-2, right?
Yeah.
But they did beat A-team 3 times this year.
Wow.
Wow, that's true, eh?
Like you said last week, jamais 203.
Jamais 305. Ah ouais.
Anything
Something
else?
else?
I feel even though we spoke about this game for a lot, I feel we didn't talk about it enough.
I know, eh?
No, I feel like we talked about it enough. But I like great season for A-team.
Yeah, seriously.
Being able to make the final, even though their quarterback got injured after how many, like week 3, 4?
It was early on in the season.
Yeah. So Mike is clearly Division 1 quarterback.
That was not a doubt about that.
No, at all. And do we have a timeline on Dave?
That's the thing. What if Dave comes back for next season? Like,
what's the storyline
Mike puts
there?
a team in D1.
Wouldn't be surprised.
The more the merrier, right?
Yeah.
100%.
Interesting fact: A-team, they played 2 seasons. They're a 500 team in the regular season. Both seasons they went 5-5, 5-5, 2 finals. That just shows their adversity, right?
I'm not surprised.
Reminds me of the New York Giants of the old. Ask Dave.
He'd be happy with that comparison.
Yeah, 100%.
That's it.
I think we're good.
Congrats, Go Cook encore.
Yeah,
Again.
really.
Nice stuff.
Esti, c'est beau ça.
Division
2.
5.
5.
Division 5.
5.
Kevin lost.
First he won.
He won first. He won his semis.
We'll start with that game.
And that was the only one to pick Phoenix in that one. 12-6. Bit of a low-scoring game.
Were you?
Yep.
You're right.
I am
picked
right.
Sour Peeps.
As I usually am. Phoenix in this game.
The only game he was right. Okay.
Winning.
You know what? You were right. So there you go.
Hey, that's all I needed.
Yeah.
12-6. Defense is showing up. Phoenix's defense picking off Jocelyn 3 times in this one.
Defense showed up or offense was bad?
Defense showed up.
Yeah.
Always go glass half full. Did anybody ref this game that we...
No, but I spoke to John ref this game. He's like, literally the only thing that was working was Kevin running. And Kevin ran 14,
I heard that.
Kevin ran 14 times,
Ay,
75
mercy.
yards, and a touchdown, injuring himself in that game.
Those are Derrick Henry stats. But he had 15 completions and 14 rushing attempts.
Yeah. More like Terry Bablis stuff.
Yeah, for
More
real.
like Justin Fields stats.
For real.
Not throwing a pick in this game was huge. Defensive battle, and as good as Sour Peep's defense was, it was not able to shockingly contain Kevin or stop Kevin, even though Sour had 3 sacks on him in this game. It was not enough. So great season for Sour Peeps.
Really?
At some point, we were asking ourselves if they'd win a game. They made it to the semifinals.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to see this team come back next year with Jocelyn becoming like a much better quarterback than he was when he first started, right? The first couple of seasons are the time where you're going to see the most improvement.
Yeah.
And what do you guys want to add before we're going to the next semifinal?
Yeah, I think that if you look at the way the season started for Sour Peeps, they're 1-3. They could easily fold and say, okay, look, like at this point we're just going to play to better our QB and stuff. But they knew they had the team to win the championship, and like they were
team / army.
Yeah, for real with Mario as the general.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, they won the previous week 3-0 against the Les Calls, a really good team who didn't have their quarterback, but still, I think it shows this team definitely belongs. And I'm curious to see what they do for next season. I know it sucks and like you want to win the championship, but still, you got to hold your head up high after the season.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Props to Mario to put a team.
Well, also props to everyone who played.
Yeah, but props to Mario because I think he was the. What's the word I'm looking for? Catalyst.
Catalyst?
There you go.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
Thank you
stuff.
very much, William. So yeah, for that team, and he brought a bunch of new people that probably never played flag before, and I feel like they were enjoying themselves. It's really enjoyable when you finish the season with, I think, 5 wins. So yeah, it's always fun to see new teams come in, new players come in, and to see them get better week after week. So can't wait to see them next spring.
Mm-hmm.
The other semifinal, TD Hunters fighting Armadillos.
So this game wasn't as low scoring, but there was 7 picks.
It was a pick fest.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
People throwing 4 picks in this game, right? Already losing that D4 final, now playing the D5 semis. I was worried for fighting Armadillos because Goldrick, it didn't look pretty, but he was getting the job done, right? Going 15 for 26, no touchdowns, 3 picks, but he on the ground 10 for 57 and 2 touchdowns. TD Hunters won this game from beginning to end. And they got some picks that like were lucky bounces for them, but when you're in the playoffs, you're in the semifinals, you create your own luck, right, Jeff?
Yeah.
And like this team.
Why? Why are you laughing?
Yeah.
What
What?
happened?
No, nothing. Isn't that your line? Don't you create your own luck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, don't look.
Just
You
quoted
sure
me.
it's not D-Wade that said that first?
No, this one's you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, D-Wade doesn't say cheesy lines like that.
So yeah, like this was not the fighting Armadillo team we're accustomed to seeing, and the
Fighting
Fighting
Armadillos.
Okay, got you. Wow, that was fast.
as if you didn't understand.
Yeah, that's true.
As if you don't talk faster than them.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. So 1 second, food's here.
Respect.
But I remember, just to pick up where you
Yeah, go
left, I remember watching that game, and because you were riffing, I was scorekeeping, and Fighting Armadillos took I believe 14-6 lead,
Mm-hmm.
and right before half, and then TD Hunters had the ball. They would throw an interception or go turnover on downs, and then I'd go in my mind, well, that's where Fighting Armadillos take away the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they would throw a pick. Then TD Hunter right back in it, march the field, then boom, throw another pick. Then I'm like, all right, so that's when Fighting Armadillos take away, boom, throw another pick. So every time like they had a chance to take away, like to run with the lead, and Fighter and TD Hunters like were staying there and fighting, and that's what made such a great game. Yes, it was interception after interceptions, but I feel like the defense stepped up big time when they needed to.
Yeah.
And props to TD Hunters because I thought it was going to be a blowout.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a blowout.
No.
And they showed up to play, and they were really, really, really good and tough to beat.
Shout out to also Mathieu, who was kind of coaching them up, doing the rotations for TD Hunters. I don't know if he was like doing very fair rotations. It's playoffs. I hope he cut his bench a little bit to put the best players out, like in key downs. This game was 14-6, like Jaff said, and the first 17 minutes of the second half, there were no points, and it was literally like that. Like every time you thought Fighting Armadillos put the game away, they would not. And I kind of had a sense that they were down 8 TD Hunters. They kind of needed to score twice because they needed to score twice to win the game for sure.
Yeah.
But I saw them needing to score twice to kind of just it was gonna be hard to get the 2-point convert.
Right.
Crazy as it was, Fighting Armadillos' only convert was 2 points from 15 yards out because they got a penalty.
Wow.
When they converted their convert, pushed them back, they're like, okay, we'll just go for 2 at that point from 15 yards, and getting that 2-point convert.
Big.
And that would have ended up being huge if ever TD Hunters got their 3rd touchdown of the game.
Yeah.
And this game was 14-12 with 4.5 minutes left. People marched the field and then finally got a touchdown, which was under a minute, but you saw that TD Hunters coming together and like knowing the game was not over.
Yeah.
We still had a minute. I still think they had a couple of timeouts, and they got to like midfield, and then I think the game ended on an interception. Oh no.
Not what the it says.
Yeah, I don't want to pay by places, but didn't the game end on an interception?
Who's scorekeeping?
Me.
Oh, there you go.
Pretty sure the game ended on an interception.
I'm pretty sure.
I
so.
guess we'll never know.
You didn't feel like putting it in?
No, I forgot.
Okay, so there
Well,
were
they
8
what-
picks in this game.
He pulled the gap. He wanted to get the heck out of there.
What happened?
Yeah, there was a pick on it. It was a bobble, bounced in the air, and I'm pretty sure it was a pick.
Leon?
The what?
Do
Not
you this?
Leon.
Do you
Yeah.
this?
Yeah.
Oh, Leo.
Leon.
Possibly, because he's a great defensive caller
Yeah.
and a great defensive player.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out his signals. Did you see? Like, it was like,
Yeah, he goes like this.
yeah, like, and like, he does 2 of
It's
them.
pretty cool.
Like, there's 2 of them. I don't know if one's like, show this, do that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like the baseball.
Sorry about that, guys.
No, we forget.
Ali balling out on offense, 6 for 71.
He's a baller.
Yeah, he is.
Leo getting 2 touchdowns also on offense.
He's a baller.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is.
Uh,
Phil, 6 catches.
He's a baller.
Yeah, he is.
He's actually a baller.
Yeah, no, he
Yeah,
is.
those glasses.
Yeah, yeah.
He looks like he's ready to
From a
go.
movie.
Yeah. Yeah, facts.
So let's go to that finals.
Yep.
Yep.
So Kevin actually had a finals in another league before his semis and finals here.
That's true.
So he rushed back. He did win his other final at least because he did not
At
win
least.
this one. And I don't know if Kevin's like 0-5 now in finals in the MFL, but this was one that he was a severe underdog. And most of them he was a favorite.
Yeah.
This was one you could say that like his team could leave the field with their heads up, and there's no moral victories and all that. But like Kevin was literally not able to walk in this game. Like he seemed like he was in pain, and he was in a lot of pain. And I think there were 6 or 7 guys only. Armadillos, it was their last game. A couple of guys had already lost a final. Other guys lost 2 finals, I think, at that
Yep.
point. So they were hungry. They wanted this one. But it's crazy how Phoenix was in this game from beginning to end. Like the score at halftime was 6-1. Actually, all 7
6
points.
to what?
6-1.
6-1.
Yeah, 6-1 point.
What happened?
Nick picked
Pick
one.
one.
Armadillo's touchdown. Nick brought it back for 1 point, and Phoenix ended
Like a
up scoring.
CFL score.
Phoenix ended up scoring 7 points this game. All 7 were on defense because their other 6 points were a pick 6. It's hard to argue that if Kevin was fully healthy in this game, the game wouldn't have ended like on converts or something like that. It would have been like a much closer game without a doubt. Because like what was working for Kevin in the semifinals was his running ability, and he did not have that option in this finals. Right?
Yeah.
He was really hurt. I don't know exactly what he had. Like a bunch of things probably. Maybe if he shaved that beard, he'd be able to run faster. I kept telling him the whole season, but it was hard to watch. Also, Armadillos not blow them out. All
Yeah.
things considered, right?
Yeah.
The same like. I was hesitant to say this because like it's kind of sucky for Armadillos, but like it was a very unconvincing championship run and win for them.
Yeah.
Beating TD Hunters 20-12 when they could have won 60-12, and beating Phoenix 18-7 when they could have won 30-7. Right? Like we said about Pocket Rocks, they had like a tougher end to the season. Did they?
Yeah.
For me, when I get what you're saying, Terry, and I would agree with you.
A champion's still a champion.
That's
At
what
the
I
end
mean.
of the day, right?
Yeah, and I would say it's more relevant if this is the end of the season and you want to come into
Yeah,
the
yeah.
playoffs in full cylinder. Like if you win games 99-90
No.
or 1-0 or 2-0 because you can't win 1-0. It is what it is. You're still champions
Yeah,
at the end of
You
the
can
day,
win
right?
1-0 in overtime.
Yeah, you can.
That is true. Good call.
Anything is possible in the MFL, buddy.
For real. So we're going to start seeing
Literally.
8-on-8.
Yeah.
Like players are 8
Like
players.
8 players and 8
Yeah,
players. Wouldn't be surprised. With 3 snipers. One guy snaps the... Yeah, you never know.
Can snap sideways if you want. Doesn't have to go, ball doesn't have to go between your legs.
Says your man.
Yeah. The way I spoke about Dom wanting to win that championship, Nick say really wanted to win this championship.
Yeah.
He was really- but he was kind of being maybe a little bit of a bad teammate towards the end
Okay.
because his emotion probably got the better of him.
I mean,
He's
like,
still
he's young,
young,
right? He's
though.
13.
Yeah. What? No.
I'm not happy about Nick.
Oh, you saw it?
No. I'm just saying. I didn't see
Oh,
it,
yeah.
but I'm not happy about Nick having that attitude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a good attitude to have.
Yeah.
Be a
But,
willy.
yeah.
Live and you learn, right? Live and learn.
Yeah, facts.
But you guys spoke about Phil in the semifinal. Had a quiet semifinal. He had a crazy final, going 6 for 101 and 2 touchdowns, which was actually like 3 touchdowns because he had one taken away from him for a taunting, and then he scored again.
What was his taunt?
He was sticking the ball out to I think for one of the defenders. I think it was
Okay,
Nick. I'm not
okay.
sure, but like at the 1 yard line. So
Come on, refs.
he got an extra 10-yard penalty. So like instead of getting that touchdown, he got an extra 10 yards,
Who took it away?
and he finished the game with 101 yards. So if it wasn't for that penalty, he would not have busted the 100 yards.
Maybe he did it on purpose.
Maybe.
Who called that flag?
I think
Probably John.
no, that was me, Biddle, and Stu. So it was Biddle the deep. I saw it.
Yeah.
Biddle was like right there. So like I asked him like, Biddle made threw the flag, but he made the decision based on my questions. I'm like, so was a sportsbook for sure? He said yes. I'm like, was he already in the red zone, in the end zone when he did that? He said not yet. I'm like, was it directed to one player particularly? He said yes. So by answering those questions, it's a taunting and it's not a sportsbook. You take that touchdown, take that touchdown away.
Good call, Biddle.
Yeah.
Big B.
So like we were talking about the rest before, like it's a
Big B. Big B. No one called him that in his life.
It'll stick, Big B.
No, never. As much as Rosie for.
Yeah, but Rose is a great nickname.
So anyway, we got together as a crew and we made that decision. So, and I do believe it was the right decision.
Let's go, Big B.
They didn't. That's what made Phil bust the 100 yards. So he was probably happy with it. And yeah,
I think I'm always gonna do that now.
do it.
Like taunt the guy.
I mean,
can
if
have
you're
it.
open enough
and
to
then wait
do
till we
that.
don't get the touchdown.
I actually did that last season.
It's true against us.
Well, what happens if you
Yeah,
don't get the touchdown?
Huh?
What happens if you don't get the touchdown after?
Dave got it.
No, but what happens if you don't get it after doing that?
Yeah, you come back to the hole, you say to the quarterback, throw me the goddamn.
It actually put us in an interesting scenario because the foul occurred in the red zone, but then it brought them out of the red zone. But they were not first and goal; they were first and 10 from like the 11, from like the 12 or 13 or something.
It's still red zone.
Yeah, it's still red zone, but you rarely have a red zone not end goal situation,
Yeah.
right?
True.
So
Yeah,
congrats to
Armadillos.
yeah, congrats to PO who like I said earlier,
Yes.
he bounced back.
100%. You could easily let that mental game get to you, lose in D4, bring it with you to Division 5. Wasn't pretty, but he got the job done, and he led the team to victory.
Mm-hmm. Or they move up? Do they move up to Division?
It depends what
So
happens
look,
with...
this is the exact same team as Pocket Rockets
Yeah,
minus
exactly.
Alexi, right?
Right.
So, like, I still think they could play in Division 5 with a weaker-ish roster, and that, like, D4 team without Alexi could be their D4 team. It depends. Like, most of these guys' ratings are going to go up. Like right now, Phil, who's a baller, Phil could literally play Division 1, right?
Yes.
He has a 55 rating.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay. Leo, who could also play Division 1, has a 61-53 rating. Like, he has a 57 overall rating.
Yeah.
Those are just the two first guys that come to mind, right? But there's other ballers on this team that they're rating. Like,
What's PO's rating?
Pio's rating is a 60 as a quarterback.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, and like he has a higher offense and defense rating than a quarterback rating.
Like if I start tomorrow, I'd be a 55.
Yeah,
That and I
Yeah, well,
I suck.
yeah. Did he play a full season last year, or he came in like mid-season? Pio.
I think he started throwing from basically the beginning. Maybe he missed the first game.
Me too. I have him.
Who was he throwing for?
That's a good question.
The Armadillos, wasn't it?
No, Armadillo doesn't exist in the spring. I'm looking it up. He did not throw in D5 of last year, and I'm gonna.
In my mind, he was in Division
Not triangles.
3,
No, he did not throw in Division 3.
4.
Did he? Maybe he threw a couple of games for Master Chiefs.
Potentially. But I'm pretty sure, he QB'd a team like almost full time.
Isn't he your teammate?
Who?
PO?
Yeah.
You're my teammate. I know everything about you.
I'm not
Let's
sure I
see,
like that.
Division 3. Yeah, he did not play Division 3 in the spring. Can I check Div 5 one more time? You guys could talk.
He threw for... Because I remember roughing one of his games. What teams... No, not Cyclones.
You don't ref.
Where you wish. Because I'm in so many finals, I don't...
That was actually a
Yeah,
good
he
comeback.
quarterbacked 4 games for Master Chiefs.
That was it?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's basically what we said.
So like first full season.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Permanent replacements.
There, replacements.
Yes.
There
my
you
bad.
go.
He played most of the season for them. Yeah,
There
yeah.
you go, remplaçant.
Yeah. But like, if you compare his stats, he had a 22 to 19 TD to interception ratio. This season he went 50 for 14.
Wow.
He more than doubled his touchdowns, but while decreasing. You normally think like if a guy scores that many more touchdowns, I don't mind him throwing an extra pick or two, right? Because he's scoring points. A pick doesn't actually
Preach.
necessarily lead.
Wow.
So
That's
yeah.
We call that comeback player of the year? More Western proof, but that's kind of cheesy.
Yeah. Well, what do you mean? He can't be comeback. He never left.
Well, maybe he wasn't there.
No, but the
mentally.
NFL does give comeback player of the year to players who were good, then sucked, and then became good. But he was never like
Really?
yeah.
That's so dumb.
Like didn't Ryan Tannehill win it or got votes for it?
I don't think about ex-Dolphins.
Tua's probably gonna win it this year.
No, because like
Because
let's,
he went MVP.
like it's not only for injuries. Like let's say you go through a rough patch and like you suck and then you become good. Like you could win comeback player.
So you're saying P.O. sucks?
No, I'm saying he's not eligible for the award because that did not happen.
Oh, right. He doesn't suck.
Yeah.
He doesn't suck.
Division 2?
Division 2. Last division because we don't got MFL Brossard. So it's all you guys because I was just hearing a lot of whining and crying in this game, man. And it wasn't because it was the cold and the rain.
Go, Mazzy.
Do I go get the Uber first?
Nope.
We'll leave it outside?
Yep.
Do you want to eat during the...
No, we eat after.
Okay, so I'll just go get it, make sure it's inside.
Yeah,
Start
exactly. So, nice TDs. No, I'm kidding. It was actually... no, it wasn't a close game.
It wasn't a close game, but the storyline in this one being that Niceties were 6 players, right? So they wanted to make sure they were 7.
Yeah. And Iggy came in to
quarterbacked. And, it's tough. Iggy's thrown to one of these players before being Chris, and Chris is generally the quarterback of the team. And, Iggy had a tough game, but, it's hard to fault him. He didn't know he was going to be playing this game.
It's a weird decision, though, when you think about it that way.
It is.
Like, he never threw to Laurent, he never threw to Marvin. He threw to Marvin before.
That's true, you're right.
Yeah, but he never...
Marvin in the other league.
Yeah, but he never used Nick or Ben or...
Look, it's easy to say now. I probably would have stuck with the 6 players we have and do with what you have.
Yeah.
Not taking away anything from Iggy. I'm just saying, you have your team, you play with your guys there. At the end of the day, look, I think we would have won regardless with our defense.
Sorry to cut you off, but I was the way you had your time. I agree with what you're saying. No, it's just
classic Babalisa to end the year the right way.
Just to add to your point that this team beat Jagerbomb. Iggy's a great quarterback, and I'm not saying they're not better with Iggy, but just stick to your guys and go with what you have. I don't know, did Chris not trust himself?
It was more he wanted to have more receivers out there. And think about it. Look, with Chris playing receiver...
he wanted to have himself as a receiver out there.
With Chris playing receiver and Laurent playing receiver and Marvin, that's a good trio of receivers in Division 2, right?
Yeah, it's so good. You score
they combined for
12 points.
14 receptions.
Well, there you go. Look, it was...
if Chris was playing quarterback, he could have maybe given Laurent 14 balls to himself, maybe 2 deep balls to Marvin for him to be happy.
Yeah.
And the score would have been the same.
Potentially. I think that in this game...
Okay, we can't be that mean.
No.
I just want to mention that Marvin strap shot all game. I strap shot. I didn't play defense.
It was a game we controlled from start to finish.
Yeah.
I think you look at this game for Thunder Buddies, 5 catches for Rob, 5 for me, 5 for Manu, 5 for Simon. That's talk about good ball distribution.
Yeah.
You have 4 guys getting a touchdown in this game. You have you getting 2 converts in the game as well. Manu had his best game of the season.
I'd give MVP to Manu.
I think I would too. I think Steve had a heck of a game. It's easy to look at the stats and say Steve deserve MVP. I think I would give it to Manu as well, just because the impact he made. He made the impact early in the game, right? He set the tone. It was he set the tone right away, and from there we followed his lead.
Ryan's 2 picks must have been huge too, right?
Yeah, it was, but I'd give it to Manu just because of the impact that he had
on both sides.
Yeah, I think the pick 6 that Chris scored. I didn't see it.
You didn't see it?
No. We ran all hooks.
Yeah.
Were we in their zone or?
We were at midfieldish.
Okay.
No. We're close to the red zone. Yeah.
Steve called all hooks. According to Steve, Dave ran a crap route. He looked to Dave. Dave didn't turn. He looked to me. He threw the ball to me.
He didn't look to you. He was still looking right, and then you go,
Steve, you're right.
Steve, I'm open. And he was
I didn't have time to say I'm open, but I said, Steve. Steve threw it to me. Chris made a great play, undercut it.
You didn't know Chris was behind you?
No.
So why were you calling for the ball?
Because I didn't know he was behind me.
Why are you calling for the ball without being aware of your surroundings?
I don't know about you, but I don't have 2 eyes in the back of my head.
So you could call for the ball when a guy's literally behind you if you're not going to...
Yes.
Usually when a quarterback's you play quarterback.
Okay, so I do this. Okay, Steve.
Well, when a quarterback's stressed and someone's calling for his name at the last second, going through 3-4 reads, make sure you're goddamn open.
Someone give me popcorn.
Yeah, that was my bad. I suck. I shouldn't be playing MFL anymore. But so to answer your initial question, Chris made a great play. He undercut it. I deflagged him.
No, you didn't deflag him. He tackled him. Last man back. Yeah, last man back. Pick 6 without even being
Was it really last man back?
I don't agree with the call, but John made it, so I'm like.
But wasn't Steve there? Not that Steve would have got tackled, but Steve was Chris...
He was there, but I think John looked at Steve and he went last man back. Steve would have never got that.
Yeah, which is okay. I think it's also a judgment call.
Yeah, but
it was a crappy call, and I really believe that the only reason why he made the call was because Niceties were going out of their mind. And
but was Chris literally the last man back or no?
Chris?
No.
Was Chris the last man?
Oh, getting a score?
Yeah.
I mean, no, Steve was there.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I think it's a judgment call on. Look, I think Chris would have scored either way.
You literally tackled him?
Oh, I didn't think so. Like, I mean, he held him.
He went for the flag, but at the same time, like he. Hold
You wanna
on.
give him a hug?
It was a Dylan tackle.
Like, no, I did hold him.
No. For real, it was legit a Dylan tackle.
But Dylan's always hold before pulling the flag.
Hmm?
Like you're saying, he held him before pulling the flag.
No, I'm saying he went for flag, and after the flag, he clipped his.
Okay, so he got flagged first.
Yeah, he got flagged first.
I don't mind it being called a penalty. Like, it was an
So you
aggressive
didn't
tackle.
hold him first.
I don't think so.
No. He went flag, and then he clipped his foot. Exactly how Dylan tackled all year.
Okay.
But like less clean because he's not used to doing that.
That is true. At the end of the day, it was a heck of a play by
Did
Chris.
you actually trip him or he flopped?
No,
No,
he didn't
he
didn't
tripped
flop.
him.
Okay.
No, he tripped him.
Was he pissed after he did that?
Yeah, he
No,
like
he
he
got a
went.
touchdown.
Yeah, but he got up. He went like,
Oh, yeah.
What was
But
the
then he-
score at that time?
Then he calmed down.
We were up
winning-
like 22.
that was the first possession of the half,
yeah,
actually, second half.
22 nothing.
It was 23
Okay, so-
zip at that point.
Let me get this right. Let's say. So they already got a touchdown for one complaint. Let's say.
It was 23 zip, yeah.
Let's say I heard Laurent complain once. Forget about what he complained about the call. Like, let's say he complained about roughing the pass that he didn't deserve. Let's say we'll be nice. We'll give him a touchdown for that one, and even give him a 2-point convert, and we'll do that again and again. They still lose the game.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why they were like. I wasn't there, but I don't understand why they were. This game was like complaining so much to the referees. Like I could understand it in the D1 final where like it was a 1-point game. You could tell off the refs if on a bad call, but it was a 23-point game.
It's the heat. It's the heat of the moment. It's them wanting to win. I think that generally speaking, all players that played in the game and refs know that the refs didn't determine the victory here, right?
I sure hope so.
I believe so. I think the nice CDs know that as well. Like it wasn't there. I guess you could say there were a few calls that went in our favor. But with the roughing the passer, but then was also like the last man back. The storyline's not that here. The storyline is really.
You're saying some of the roughing the passes were bogus?
They were. I couldn't see them.
Yeah, I mean.
Okay.
I couldn't see them.
Okay, giving them if you're giving them the benefit of the doubt is what you're saying.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. But I think that it was a great win by Thunder Buddies on both sides of the ball, right? Like defensively to hold that trio of receivers to one touchdown, right? Because they got the pick six, and then Steve having a clean game except for the one interception.
Was he mad after the pick?
He was mad at Dave's more than.
Did you see
Yeah.
his route?
No,
It was a hook. How bad could he have run it?
because
He ran it
too
deep.
Did Steve say quick hook or 5-yard
Yeah,
hook?
I don't know. I wasn't in the huddle.
Oh.
Yeah,
Did he say quick hook or 5-yard hook?
all hooks, but he kind of means
Okay.
quick hooks.
Oh, he means where there's like a
Yeah.
zone in front of you, turn around, right?
And also an MVP candidate in this game, I think, was Rob White too, right? Getting 2 sacks in
Rob-
this one.
Rob is the MVP of the season for the Thunder Buddies, no doubt about that. I was on
Of the
side-
league.
Yeah, Division
Like
2.
he was a huge
Yeah,
part
yeah,
of Master Chiefs as well.
Yes.
Throughout the whole season.
Yes.
Yeah, and he's like 100.
Huge part of Phoenix also throughout the whole season. He led that team too.
Right.
I don't mean that in the bad way, Barbara. By the way, it's like a props.
You gotta specify. Cause,
That's why I just did.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Terry.
emphasizing specific.
Yeah, I was on the sideline with Justin and Brady and like all the Idaho guys that were still celebrating their win.
Yeah.
Against
Yes.
Master Chiefs.
Yeah.
And we were talking about Rob's age, and they were going nuts. Like they didn't believe me.
Yeah.
Like he's like 50+, and they're like that makes no sense.
I don't think Rob's in his 50s.
I think he's in the
Pretty
40s.
sure he's in the 40s.
But either way,
Either way, 45+. Like yeah,
impressive.
really impressive.
I think that, for Thunder Buddy season, it was kind of like we finished second, but it was a bit of an up-ish down
It
season.
was like a 4-way tie for second place.
Right, exactly. And I think that it definitely wasn't a walk in the park. Our semifinals game was a heck of a game against Red Raiders.
Yeah.
And I think that the way we came together and everything at the end of the season was fun and was what Thunder Buddies is all about.
Yeah, tough game in the semis. Tough game, easy game in the final, but nonetheless against a good nice city team who won against the first seed.
Yeah.
And to answer Andrew's question, why Rory wasn't there, it's because Kareem was there, and we didn't.
Yeah, we didn't need. We were
I don't
nine.
think Azul watches up until now, but
I hope so.
But so Thunder Buddies win in D5 4-3-2. They won in all divisions but the one.
Next season,
maybe one day.
Maybe one day got to bring them to Division 1.
gotta bring Babalisa back.
Yeah.
Need that rusher. Hope we don't mean his quarterback.
Obviously.
Well, okay, I'll start in D2 and then.
How can you? What the disrespect?
Whatever, it's way a year.
Getting
You gotta come back.
You're my main guy. After all the targets I've given you.
Main guy, 15 yards you get with
You're my
with Sarah
Smuda.
as a quarterback.
The year where we won 6 and you didn't win 6D. Yeah, I remember that too.
There's no 6D in MFL.
I hate it a lot on these finals, but like seriously, props to them to make it to
Seriously.
the final with this
Yeah.
hard division, and that upset against Jagerbomb was
I was very
probably the
surprised by
biggest
that one, yeah.
upset of. Like, I'd say that upset was bigger than Bin beating Pocket Rockets in the finals.
It's pretty close. I think Bin's
I could have
was a bigger
seen
upset.
Me too.
Bin winning more than I saw. I was more sure Jagerbomb would win that game.
It's tough to argue.
It is, yeah, it is.
But anyway, all that to say that they lost their quarterback. They didn't fill him in with they didn't get no other players to add to this roster after that.
Right,
Right?
that's-
they,
yeah.
They lost a great receiver in Chris to play quarterback, and he still brought them to the finals.
Yeah.
So like props to this team, right? And it was like the first season playing with a couple of new guys like Gab Laurent. They had their main core there.
They were
And
missing Thomas. They were missing Gab. It would have
Yeah.
been totally a different game.
Yeah.
It would have been a much closer game.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think it could have been like a toss-up had they had all their guys, including like Dave healthy in this one, right?
Mhm.
Yep. It was fun to see Simon going at it against
Yeah, it was.
Nico and
Ben,
Ben
yeah.
being two of his.
Was Thomas there watching or no?
No.
Okay.
No.
Dave was there, though.
Yeah, and a bunch of like nice TD's fan on the sideline. It was pretty nice to
Yeah.
not hearing them cheer. at
Did
the end of
Simon
the game.
play the game with his nicety shorts? Because on the picture he had.
But he came into the field with his nice TDs.
Yeah,
And
So
then
he
what-
had the
then he
hat.
burnt- Then he burnt them? He burnt-
No. But he had the hat. He had the hoodie. He
But he-
had the shorts.
Played with the shorts on, right?
I think so.
I believe so. Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah,
Wow.
respectable teams.
Yep. I think it was more of a taunt, but
maybe.
yeah, whatever.
More,
It
more
was
of a what? A taunt?
taunt.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was. He made a nice touchdown.
Oh, yeah, he had a few big catches in this game.
Yeah.
And you got it on tape, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So like
put-
kind of like out and in.
Yeah.
On Nico, right?
There was
Yeah,
a
and
play
he
he got
put-
sandwiched by Nico that wasn't filmed either.
Yeah, and he put like Nico on his back, and he went,
Yeah.
"Come here, buddy. We're going to the end zone."
Sick.
Sick play, Simon.
Is that
Good
it?
snapper. Best snapper of the team.
By far. I can't think of anybody
Yeah,
else. Division, all 5 divisions. A crazy season, up and down season with a lot of parity. It was freaking fun.
Fun
Bold
season.
predictions?
Kevin shows up with the shirt this Sunday at the get
So
together.
just to recap, there's a MFL get together this Sunday. You could bring anyone you want to bring. At Champs Sports Bar on Saint Laurent, Sunday 1 p.m. We're gonna watch NFL games. The Grey Cup might be on it at the same time.
Who knows?
Probably
Great
in
food,
the bathroom.
great
No one
drinks,
wants to watch that shit.
but great crowd.
Yep.
Whoever wasn't there at the spring, a lot of you. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We get there 1 o'clock for the 1 p.m. games. There's a bunch of games on at the same time. There's Red Zone there.
We'll be there.
Uh,
Sign autographs.
Yeah,
take pictures.
the media team will be there. Kevin will be there. John will be there. So make sure you bring whoever you want to bring and just show up and have a great time. So we're not going to see each other again until 2023.
That's true. That's crazy. Yeah, come.
And this show won't air again till the spring.
Yeesh. Oh, a lot less headaches.
We'll be back though.
We'll be back, trust. Stronger than ever.
Anything else?
We got the wheel?
Yeah.
Oh, we got the wheel. I
Yes.
forgot about the
Hey,
wheel.
come on, baby.
Let's go.
My boy's a rookie over
Wheel,
here.
baby. I forgot about the wheel.
So you would have ended the show without doing the wheel, eh?
Yeah, but I said there's no way we're forgetting. I forgot.
Well, we always have your back.
Max, get excited.
Here we go. Okay, so wait a minute. Are we doing it twice?
Yes, we're doing it twice because we didn't do it mid-season.
Okay, so we're doing it twice.
And
And
no-
the same guy can win it twice.
Cannot.
Cannot.
Can you give 2 championships to the same team in the same division in one season?
Well, last time I checked, there's 2 championships in the same division. Same
Per-
year.
Okay, well, we already have our spring winners.
We're allowed to bend the
Last
rules.
time I checked, we have our spring
Okay,
winners.
don't argue again. We spoke about that before the show.
I hope the same guy wins twice.
Okay.
Or lady.
Okay, so we got, I think I counted 33 total names for about 80 entries over here.
You have to shuffle.
Yeah, I know. That's why we didn't shuffle yet. As you can see, all the names are there. You got your votes.
Aaron, Max.
So we shuffled once. And are you guys ready?
By the way, we did a test run
we
before,
go.
and I won.
That's true.
So we'll see again.
I'm gonna guess it's gonna be.
Let's
Let's go! Dao.
Dao?
Yeah, it's Dave Daou.
You tell us in the comments.
let's
That's the second one.
Okay, so now I could remove just his name or remove all of his.
Remove all of it.
What's the difference?
Like I removed this.
Oh, just that one.
Yeah, that one or all of them.
Wait,
All
did
of
didn't Dave win last year or Miss Evans
Miss Evans
won?
won, and she gave it to Dave.
Dave, there you go. Your second one.
Wow.
I'll just remove this one. And we'll
Okay,
see.
let's get let's get our picks. I think it's gonna be.
I'm going for Max.
I feel so bad for Max if it's not him, man.
I'm going Aaron. Oh,
Brady!
man. But he's already won. He's already won the T3 championship.
Double
Come
champ.
on now. Come on now.
Double champ. Congrats to Brady. Congrats
Respect.
to Dave. Max. I don't know what to tell you, buddy.
Keep commenting. Keep
Yeah.
I
commenting.
thought you were gonna say keep calm and Max on.
The wheel will find you one day.
You'll
The
get it
time
one
was
day.
not right.
You'll
It
get it
was
one
The
day.
not.
time was not right.
The price was right though.
So our winners are
Dave
Dave
Daoud
and Brady.
And Brady. Impressive.
Very impressive. So make sure when
So
you
what do
sign
they
up,
get?
half a season off. So when you sign up for either
Oh,
the winter,
we could have went with the same guy winning twice. He would have had a full season off.
oh, it's late now.
Yep. Some two dum dums said I got
So make sure when you sign up, you let John know. If John seems lost, let me know. I'll let him know.
And you could always let me know.
And
he'll
you're
let-
gonna,
he'll let
then you're
no
gonna
one
pay.
know.
Then you're gonna pay double. So yeah, pretty sure Dave didn't get his money back for not finishing the season. So
Hey,
at least got half season off to go next year. I'm glad we did this live. It's a lot funner.
it is.
It's
It's a lot
a
more
lot-
fun.
No, funner.
Funner is not a word.
It's not a word.
Nope. Journalism
I
101.
can make it a word. On this show, every word exists, right?
That is true.
Yeah. So that's it. We'll see you Sunday.
It was an absolute pleasure doing the show from start to finish. Thank you everyone for commenting. Thank you for Terry and I for real. It was Terry did a lot of work, so thank you for all the editing and stuff.
I appreciate
all
you
the
giving
work.
me
He did
some,
all the work.
some
Well,
praise from
I
time to
was
time.
on the show from time to time, and while Terry was in Greece and having his margaritas with Margarita. Thank you everyone for without you guys watching the show, there is no show. Appreciate all the input, and I hope to see all of you guys there Sunday.
Yep. Let's go.